evening and thanks very much for joining us. I'm Brittany Ramsey. As of this morning, both the Thunder Bay District Health Unit and Northwestern Health Unit were allowed to lower the age eligibility for a COVID vaccine to those aged 70 and above. Meanwhile, 3 city pharmacies will soon be able to administer doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. Now, there's been recent concern regarding that vaccine and its potential link to blood clotting among certain age groups. However, medical officials insist the vaccine is safe. Corey Nordstrom has more.
30 cases of blood clotting have now been reported in the United Kingdom following the use of the AstraZeneca vaccine among more than 18 million administered shots. Those numbers have led to a growing hesitancy from the public and some questioning if they would take the vaccine. Canadian Health Minister Patty Hajdu says that people who are worried should do their best to look into data from credible sources.
All these vaccines have proven to be very effective at saving lives. But I think when people have questions, it's normal to have questions, and they should speak to their healthcare provider. Obviously, there's also really good credible information online at various government sources.
And when local pharmacies begin administering doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine, the district's medical officer of health says that it's extremely unlikely that vaccination will lead to blood clots.
When you look at the rates of that blood clot following AstraZeneca immunization, it is actually very low. And really, some of the decisions that were made around the use of AstraZeneca, including, perhaps just in older individuals, just really reflects that sort of an abundance of precaution approach.
But Hajdu wants to reassure Canadians that it's the best interest of citizens that they have in mind when approving any of the vaccines.
At the end of the day, Health Canada will not allow the continued use of a product that's shown to be unsafe for Canadians, and advice will change as data and research comes in. But you can rest assured that the advice that has been provided to Canadians is based with very detailed scrutiny of the data, not just here, but all around the world.
Corey Nordstrom, TBT News.
The District Health Unit did not provide a daily case report today, nor will they on Sunday due to the stat holidays. Numbers will be reported Saturday and Monday. The Health Unit, however, did declare the ongoing outbreaks at the Walford and on the 5th floor of Hogarth Riverview Manor to be over. Ontario will enter a province-wide shutdown tomorrow at 12:01 a.m. after the Ford government announced it was pulling the emergency brake yesterday. The move comes with some criticism and frustration, but the government believes the COVID situation will spiral out of control unless immediate action is taken. Today, we asked local residents how they feel about another shutdown.
I believe if we did the shutdown the first 2 months like many other countries did, we would have been able to solve this issue. But unfortunately, we stood open for too long. We gave too many opportunities to large stores, but punished small family stores.
I think the lockdown is necessary. I don't know if they're taking it far enough. Like, I am concerned about the essential workers, we don't seem to be changing what's going on here, and we've been in a lockdown.
I do believe it was necessary. Grateful that he's made the decision to do that across the province. The numbers are going up, the hospitalizations are going up.
Lots of businesses are killing themselves and they are not making good money and people don't get job, and that have like lots of big, very bad issues is over here, and I don't think so. I don't prefer lockdown anymore.
I don't think they should have flipped back and forth. If you're going to shut her down, you got to shut her down. Let's get a control of the situation.
I think it was a necessary step. It's unfortunate for the rest of the province, but for us here in Thunder Bay, it doesn't change a whole lot.
I honestly like it. I like doing online school, and it's necessary because a lot of people are getting sick right now.
The Lakehead Social Planning Council is urging the City of Thunder Bay to join and endorse its local living wage campaign. The living wage is the hourly wage that workers need to cover basic expenses in the specific community they live in. While Ontario's minimum wage is $14.25 an hour, the living wage for Thunder Bay has been calculated at $16.21 an hour. In a recent presentation to Council, social researcher Bonnie Krisawati noted that lifting workers out of poverty doesn't only help the individual. It helps the employer with improved retention and productivity and helps the economy with less reliance on social services.
There are some cities in southern Ontario, many where the city has actually joined. And what that has done, it has increased the amount of businesses and organizations that have hopped onto the living wage campaign. The advocacy for the living wage, I think that's the important piece that governments can play.
The city of Thunder Bay is eligible to join the living wage campaign as it already pays all of its permanent full-time employees at least $16.21 an hour. Council hasn't yet made a decision on the matter. Another virtual lottery has begun in Thunder Bay, this time looking to raise funds for Chippewa Park's centennial celebration. The 5-day event is still being planned for July 29th to August 2nd, but there's high hopes for the occasion. The Friends of Chippewa Park have put out a call for local artists to join the event with a number of activities scheduled for the Family Festival. The recently launched Catch the Chippewa Ace Draw will have weekly jackpots and a running jackpot, which could grow substantially. That will depend how long it goes without being chosen.
This is a long-term lottery. We will continue to monitor it and we'll continue to market it as required so that we can raise the kind of funds that we need in order to offer a free family festival either this summer or next. We've got a target of about $150,000 through lotteries, and we're only at 11,000 so far, so we have a long way to go.
Tickets can be purchased under the Catch the Ace tab on the Chippewa Park website. The Thunder Bay Museum has come up with a creative idea for kids as an alternative to in-person events. It's now selling take-home camp-in-a-bag kits. The kits are called Historical Endeavors and are meant to teach kids age 6 and up about local history, highlight museum artifacts, and keep them engaged with various crafts and activities. Some of those include creating their own geode to learn about mines in the area and creating toys that children in the past played with. Museum Director Scott Bradley believes it's important for kids to learn about the history of our city.
It makes them good citizens. It makes them invested in our community. And it really gives them a sense of purpose and inclusion in our community and to feel pride where they live. It's a great opportunity for the museum to, again, continue to do our mission and deliver that to families when we have to do it at a distance.
The kits became available for purchase yesterday and can be picked up curbside starting April 7th. More information can be found on the museum's website. Thunder Bay's Cambrian Players is about to present its first live stage show in over a year. Lovesick will hit the stage tomorrow night, but with no crowd in attendance due to COVID-19 restrictions, the performance will be live streamed to its ticket holders. Avery McRae has details.
I don't want to see the bride on the wedding day before the wedding part. You know that. And you can't see the groom either. That's bad luck.
It's been over a year since Cambrian Players last held a live production with 4 weddings and an Elvis last March. On April 3rd, the theater on Spring Street will once again fill with energy and excitement for John Cariani's Lovesick. Producer and actress Robin Diaz says this performance is the perfect show to return with.
Kind of wacky, it's very cute, it's very sweet, but it's also very heartwarming, and there's a lot of highs and lows, and I think that's a good thing to have in a play.
I think people have spent more time with their partners in the last year than they probably ever have before. So, you know, sometimes the romance might be wearing a little thin, and this takes a pretty realistic look at love.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Singing telegram for Miss Louise Overby.
The theater has been doing virtual shows for the past year with actors and actresses acting from homes. But April 3rd show will be the first done live on stage with others. With no crowd in attendance due to the pandemic, Cambrian Players has altered its studio space to have sets spaced out rather than set changes during the show. And while it's not perfect, Diaz is excited to just get back on a real stage.
It's nice to finally be in a space that is different and with other people and with actual sets that aren't just someone putting like a shower curtain behind.
It's still a live performance, and that's the best thing. Even though we don't have our audience sitting in front of us, we know that we're performing live to people in the comfort of their own home in a way that's safe and a way that they can still enjoy the joy that Cambrian Players has been bringing since 1949.
Tickets for April 3rd's performance of Lovesick can be found through Cambrian Players' website and Facebook page for $15 per person or $25 a household. Avery McRae, TBT News.
Will be nice to see them get back at it and continue doing what they love to do, of course.
For sure.
Speaking of love to do what you do, Tyler, Eric Stahl loves playing hockey.
Playing hockey, playing some puck. He is getting back to it, joining the Habs. We'll tell you when. Stay tuned.